Hey folks, welcome back friends and neighbors. How you doing today? Your old buddy Brad coming at you here from a very warm spot inside. I know most of you people out there, anywhere in 3/4 of the U.S., if not more, are just like me, been dealing with that Siberian Arctic air rush. Oh my God, talk about an air assault. Whew. I'm glad that stuff's over. Whew, man, I wasn't liking that at all. Well, here it is, late afternoon on Christmas, and I finally got to the point where after having to deal with sinus crud and everything else, I finally can talk well enough that I don't sound like I need a hospital. I got lucky, it wasn't vid. Woo. Been tested twice, but my son, he picked it up. It's a light case. He's battling it. He's doing good, but this is just kind of a coming soon attractions, little deal. I'm going to be shooting a video later on this week, and we're going to take a few steps back in time and get away from the oh-so new, greatest, latest tactical, bells and whistles firearms that everybody seems to be so interested in today. So I know, a lot of my viewers, some of them, they like this old stuff, and I like the hell out of it. Going to go back in time a little bit, back to the mid-60s for a Model 58 and 41 mag Smith & Wesson. And a little further back in time for a 1946 model Smith & Wesson K-frame, 5-screw, pre-Model 10 38 Special. And, about 74 years old. This one, according to Smith & Wesson, should have been manufactured and shipped sometime around 1946 or early 47. And, man, she is a sweet little baby. And when I saw it at the store, was looking at it, that action was slick. It don't even have a turn ring on the cylinder, and this gun's almost 75 years old. So it was well cared for on the outside, and the screws on the side plate showed no wear, no bends, no twists. So I was pretty sure nobody had ever been in it. And I was right. Look at this picture. You talk about a dirty girl inside. Man. Everything in there has spent the last 74, 75 years being collected. But I spent about 5.5 hours going through her and got everything slicked up, cleaned up, lubed up, back in there. And now that action is so slick you can pull that trigger double action and the front of that muzzle don't even twitch when that hammer falls. That's how I like my girls to be when it comes to Smith & Wesson double action firearms. So we're going to fire a few shots through her and see how she does too, because man, she ought to be fine. Them grips are in excellent shape. Now some of you might have heard me say the phrase 5-screw. You might be wondering, if you're young, might be wondering what that meant. On modern Smith & Wesson pistols, when I say modern, like from the mid to late 50s on up to now, up until, I don't know, maybe they've dropped a screw by now, I don't know. I haven't bought a new Smith & Wesson pistol that was made after 2000. You have basically 3 screws you have to remove to pull the side plate off. One here, and there's one under the grip. On the older Smith & Wesson pistols, you had 4 screws that you had to pull. There's a screw right up here that you'll notice is not present on the mid-60s model. But up here on these post-World War I guns and on back, there's a screw up here. They changed this point for the plate where it slides under the frame. Up here it just lays straight into it. So you got one under the hand, 2 to take that side plate off. Now you heard me say 5, and we've only counted 4. In front of the trigger guard, right down here, is another screw that holds tension against the plunger and spring that holds tension against locking lug that comes up out of the recess to lock the cylinder in place. So that's 5 screws. I love them old 5-screw guns. And you might have noticed, if you watched the last video on my Rock Island Arms TAC Howdy VR80, that at the end of that video I fired 4 rounds out of a rifle here that I acquired a few weeks back. It is a Remington Model 14 in the most hard to find caliber it was ever made in, 30 Remington. Now it came with 55 rounds of loaded ammunition, but I got to looking around online and I was checking my old sources and some of my old gun shops I used to go into, and I've managed to come up with 2 more boxes of factory ammunition, and I found a place where I can order some 32 Remington, because it was made in 25 Remington, 30 Remington, 32 Remington, and 35 Remington. And 32, 30, and 25 all share the same parent case. Absolute identical dimensions. Well, I found a place where I can order me up some 32 Remington and just resize them, reform them, and I'll have the shells I need. They'll say 32 Remington on the back, but it'll be a 30. So, going to run her through her paces a little bit. She's a slick old gun, and this gun was made in 1927. When I first got it, it was presented to me that it was made in 21, but that's not accurate. I went online, did some checking. So it's not a 101-year-old gun, it's a 95, 96-year-old gun. But she still is a sweet shooting little piece. And I went completely through it and gave everything a good clean. And you talk about slick old gun. She's going to be so fun. So we're going to shoot her with iron sights for accuracy, shoot that with fixed sights for accuracy, and that one. And so that's basically the premise of the video. We're just going to drag some heritage way out of the back of the gun safe and take some firearms out that were built at a time when the people who made firearms made them with absolute quality and made them to last a lifetime for you, your grandkids, and if they maintained them well, their kids, if you could find the ammo. So I hope you enjoy that coming video. I've got to travel down to Texas for some family function, and the rest of my family is all spread out all over the U.S. right now, and so it wasn't a big Christmas for anybody concerned, but it was a good one nonetheless. And I hope you guys come back to see the video that I'm going to drop here in a few days. It might be 4 or 5, just depends on what happens. And hope you enjoy it. Getting to see the old girls doing their thing. They were built to last. You can't buy this kind of quality nowadays in modern firearms without having somebody do some custom work to it. You just can't. It's not feasible. And I won't get on a jag about the end user being the quality control inspector, but that's what we all are nowadays. So I hope you enjoy the video when it comes. I hope you get a chance to see it. I'm glad you stopped by to see me and dropping in for this little shortcoming attractions video. And yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I know I'm going to enjoy it. And I don't shoot this old Model 58 very much. She's a safe clean. She's just too dang pretty to go out and dirty up for just anything. But at least once a year, I think it's kind of fun to pull out some of the historic heritage, high value, extremely well made guns of our forefathers. So thanks for stopping by. I hope to see you soon. I hope you like the video that comes, and hopefully I'll be seeing you folks in the next few days somewhere downrange. Bye. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Love you guys. Be good.